Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all to the next lecture. That is, actually, we are solving 13.2 and we have finished with question number 1 and question number 2. Okay, and now we proceed to solve question number 3. I hope you all are having your textbooks with you. This print is mostly, I think it has got some problem. So, now coming to the question number 3. Question number 3, this tells us a gulab jamun contains sugar syrup up to about 30% of its volume. Find approximately how much syrup would be found in 45 gulab jamuns. Okay, so up to here, if you have to understand the concept of the question, then what is the question telling? See, there is a gulab jamun, whatever is the gulab jamun. Here they have given that the gulab jamuns are cylindrical in shape. Whatever is this gulab jamun, but they are telling that 30% of its volume, whatever is this volume, 30% of that is basically, supposing something like that, I can take it like this. 30% of this volume is basically the syrup. And now they are asking you how much syrup would be found in 45 such gulab jamuns. So it is very simple. We have to first understand what is the volume of the each gulab jamun. We can find 30% of the volume, and whatever is this 30%, that we have to multiply it by 45, so that we get the syrup that is present in 45 gulab jamuns. But now we have to find the volume of the gulab jamun. They are telling each shaped like a cylinder with two hemispherical ends. So each gulab jamun is basically cylindrical in shape with two hemispheres in the end, something of this sort. Fine. And with length 5 centimeter, each shaped like a cylinder with two hemispherical ends, with length 5 centimeter. This is the total length of the gulab jamun. Fine. And then they are telling, and diameter 2.8 centimeter. So if diameter is 2.8 centimeter, so we have to understand that the radius is going to be half of that. Now try to understand, whatever is this radius, the same will be the distance over here, and same will be the distance over here. Fine. So for hemispherical part, dimensions. Now we have to be very careful. Try to understand this radius of this and this radius of the cylinder, both are going to be same. R is equal to, now basically they have given you d is equal to how much they have given you? 2.8 centimeter. Therefore R is equal to 2.8 upon 2, 1.4 centimeter. This is sufficient for the hemispherical part. Now we have to talk about the cylindrical part. When it comes to cylindrical part, dimensions of that, of course radius is going to be same for it now also, 1.4 centimeter, and height will be equal to 5 centimeter minus 1.4 minus 1.4, right? 1.4 from here, this is nothing but the radius, and 1.4 from here, that will give you 5.4 with 2.8. So 5 minus 5.0 minus 2.8, that will be 2.2 centimeter is going to be the height of the cylindrical part. These are the dimensions now we have got. Now we have to understand the process again. What I will do, first I will find the volume of the each gulab jamun, and that will be the total volume of the gulab jamun, and then I have to find 30% of that volume, because that is going to be the syrup in one gulab jamun. Like this there are 45 gulab jamuns, I will multiply them. Okay, but then volume of the gulab jamun is going to be equal to what? Volume of hemispherical part to volume of hemispherical part and volume of cylinder. Okay, radius is going to be same, h is okay there. Now here finding volume of each gulab jamun. For that, volume of cylinder, the formula for volume of cylinder is pi r square h. R is going to be same for hemisphere and cylinder, so that's why r is sufficient. Therefore, volume of cylindrical part is equal to pi r square h. This is your 1. Then you have to find volume of hemisphere is equal to, now actually volume of sphere is 4 upon 3 pi r cube. This will be 2 upon 3 pi r cube. Therefore, volume of each hemispherical part is equal to 2 upon 3 pi r cube. Therefore, volume of two hemispherical parts is equal to 2 into 2, 4 upon 3. Are you getting? I have to multiply this by 2, 2 into 4. 2 into 2, 4 upon 3 pi r cube. This is your second. Now, volume of gulab jamun will be equal to volume of two hemispherical parts plus volume of cylindrical part. Therefore, volume of gulab jamun, actually cylindrical part is 1 and this 2, but it's okay, I can write it in version. So 1 plus 2. This is going to be equal to, I'll write it in the next page, volume of will be volume of gulab jamun is equal to 1 upon 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2, 1 is pi r square h plus 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Okay, pi r square h plus 4 upon 3 pi r cube. So when we come over here, if I substitute this, before substituting I have to solve this, pi r will go out, but pi r square will be common factor, h plus 4 upon 3, r will stay inside. Okay, now pi is 22 upon 7 into r square is, what is r square? 1.4 into 1.4. H is of the cylinder. Of the cylinder, the H is of the cylinder is 2.2 plus 4 upon 3 into R is again 1.4. Now if I start to solve this, what do I get? 7 0.2s are. So what I will do now is that I will multiply all these things first so that I don't have any problem afterwards regarding that. We have to be very careful during this multiplication. Everybody can do it in their own way, whatever you feel you are comfortable with. 22 into 0.2 into 1.4 into 0.2 will give you 4.4 into 1.4. So we will get 1.4 means 44 into 14 you do straight, 4 4 is 16, 4 4 is 16, 17, 1 4 is 4, 1 4 is 4. This will give you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 6.16 should be the answer of that. Okay, I'm checking it, my dear student, because I don't want any confusion afterward. 44 into that is right, my dear student, it is going to be 6.16, and here if I go along 2.2 plus, This I'll have to multiply 4 4 the 16, 4 1 the 4, 5.6 upon 3. Okay, 5.6 upon 3. So this will again, if I go to solve this, 6.16 into 6.6 plus 5.6 upon 3. This will give me 6.16. If I add this, 12.2 upon 3. This will be the volume of each gulab jamun. This is volume of each gulab jamun, and then you will tell volume of 45 gulab jamun will be equal to what? 45 into 6.16 into 12.2 upon 3 centimeter cube. This will be the volume of 45 gulab jamuns. Now, volume of syrup is equal to 30% of volume of 45 gulab jamun. This is given, it is 30%. 30% means 30 upon 100 into 45 into 6.16 into 12.2 upon 3. If I go to solve this, 3 and 3 will get lost. What I will get is 4.5 into 6.16 into 12.2. This will be the volume of sugar syrup, should be the volume of sugar syrup. If I go to calculate this, 616 multiplied by 45, 5 6 are 30, 5 1 the 5, 6 7 8, 5 6 are 30, 4 6 are 24, 4 the 5 6, 4 6 are 24. This is gone. 0 8 9 10 11 12 7 7 2. Then again we have to multiply this by 1 double 2. 2 2s are 4, 2 7 are 14, 2 7 are 14, 15, 2 2 are 4, 5. This is gone. Then this will be again no 0 4 4 double 5. Then again this will go. Then again you will have 0 2 double 7 2, 0 4 8 9 10 11 10 17 18 8 9 10 11 12 13 3 3 8, and here decimal places are 1 2 3 4 decimal places, 1 2 3 4. This will be our answers. This should be answer 338.18 centimeter cube, approximately 338 centimeter cube. This will be equal to 338.18 centimeter cube. Should be the volume of syrup, which should be approximately equal to 338 centimeter cube. Okay, my dear students, so with this we have finished our third question. I hope you all are getting what is happening. See, for what first we found the volume of gulab jamun. Volume of gulab jamun was volume of the cylinder plus volume of two hemispheres, and we reached to over here. This is the volume of gulab jamun. Volume of each gulab jamun is actually this. And then because there are 45 gulab jamuns, I multiplied them by 45. And actually they are asking us to find the syrup. Volume of syrup is actually what? 30% of this volume is the syrup, and I calculated 30% of that volume. That's all. Okay, so with this we finish with question number 3, and now we proceed to question number 4. So now what happens in question number 4? Here they are telling, this is given to you, my student, that the pen stand made of wood is in shape of cuboid. The pen stand also is shown to you all students. something of this sort. A pen stand made of wood is in shape of a cuboid. This is a cuboid with 4 conical depressions to hold pens. So here basically we have got 4 conical depressions, this sort. Okay, now actually there are 4, but I am drawing only one which will be slightly or nicely visible. Like this, there are actually 4 conical depressions. Means here the wood is taken out. Fine, 4 places. The dimensions of cuboid are 15 centimeter. This is the longest one, 15 centimeter by 10 centimeter. This is, and then the height is, length, breadth and height is 3.5 centimeter. All are in centimeters. The radius of each depression, this is the radius of each depression, 0.5 centimeter, and depth is 1.4 centimeter, means height is 1.4 centimeter. Here we will have to take 2, my dear students, because they are different. R is only 1, but we will purposely keep for everything of conical shape, we will keep 2 because they are different now. Height is equal to how much over here? Depth is equal to 1.4 centimeter. So this is L1, L1, B1 and H1. Everything related to cylinder is going to be 1, 1, 1. Everything related to conical shape is going to be 2, 2, 2. Okay, these are the things that we have. Find the volume of the wood in the entire stand. See what happens. Basically, first I will find the volume of the cuboid. That will give me entire volume of the cuboid. But from here, this volume of one conical shape wood is removed. So I will subtract that from the main cuboid. But like this there are 4. So I will multiply this by 4 and subtract it from the volume of the cuboid. So I will find the volume of the cuboid, find the volume of one conical shape. That will be the volume of wood in the one conical shape, and multiply that by 4. So I will get to know how much volume of wood is there in 4 conical shapes. That much wood is being removed from the whole wood of the cuboid. I will subtract that. So first I will talk about the dimensions. Cuboid dimensions. L1 is equal to 15 centimeter, B1 is equal to 10 centimeter, H1 is equal to 3.5 centimeter. This is all. Okay, here itself we can find the volume of cuboid is equal to length into breadth into height. This is by formula. Therefore, volume of cuboidal wooden block, L1 into B1 into H1. Volume of cuboidal block or wooden block, L1 is equal to, otherwise I will keep it like that only because common factors and all have the role to play. Now I go to conical depressions. Dimensions are, for conical depressions, formula for volume is equal to 1/3 pi r square h. That's all. R2, radius is equal to 0.5 centimeter. It is in centimeter only. Yes, radius of each depression. And H2 is equal to 1.4 centimeter. Volume of cone is equal to 1/3 pi r square h. This is formula. Therefore, volume of conical depression is equal to 1/3 pi r2 square h2. Therefore, volume of 4 conical depressions multiply this by 4, 4 upon 3 pi r2 square h2. This is what we have got, and this is going to be your 2. Now, volume of wood in block is equal to volume of cuboidal block minus volume of 4 conical depressions, because these are subtracted from there. That will be 1 minus 2. So now I go to the next page. 1 minus 2. So what do I get now? Volume of wood in, what is my 1? L1 B1 into H1. L1 into B1 into H1 minus, this will be 4 upon 3 pi R2 square H2. Nothing in common. Okay, nothing in common. So we can't help that. Therefore, volume of L1 is equal to 15 into 10 into 3.5 minus 4 upon 3 into 22 upon 7. Na? Nothing is given, that means 22 upon 7. 22 upon 7. R2 square radius is equal to 0.5 into 0.5 into H2 is 1.4. So let us proceed to solve this. This will get 7 1 ja 7, 0.2 ja. Here if I solve, 10 into 3.5 will give me 35. The 1 decimal place will go, and then I will multiply 35 by 15. 5 5s are 25, 5 3 are 15, 16, 17. This will give me 35, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 525. This will be 525 minus, what I am getting over here is 4 into 22 into 0.5 into 0.5 into 0.2 upon 3. This I have to solve. So when I have to solve this, here I will go one by one, step by step. 4 into 22, I will purposely copy over here because I don't want any confusions. This will be 88. 5 5s are 25, and then 2 decimal places. 0.25 into 0.2. 2 into 25 will give me 50. Then 2 decimal places over here, 1 decimal place over here, 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. This will be the condition. 88 into 0.05. Last 0 don't have any value. Then 5, 8, 5, again I will multiply 5 by 88. 5 8s are 40, 5 8s are 44. 2 decimal places, this will come over here. 4.4. This will be 525. My 4.4 upon 3 is there. 4.4 upon 3. Okay. So if you want, you can divide this 4.4 and then go forward. 3 1s are 3. 1 is there, 14. Jumping over 3 4s are 12, 2, 0, 6. So because this is 6, I will put it 1.46. So what I will get? 525 minus 1.46. If I have to subtract that, 525 minus 1.46. This you have to be very careful. Decimal should come under the decimal. 10, 9, 4. 10 minus 6, 4. 9 minus 4, 5. 3, 2. 523.54. 523.54. I don't know. Yes, it is right, my dear students. So this is going to be equal to 523.54 centimeter cube. This is the volume of wood in the block. See this, actually calculations you have to do with very calm mind. Go on neatly, doing neatly, and then you will not have any problems. They are calculations. Unless and until you don't practice, you won't find them easy and you won't be comfortable with them. So coming to the fifth question. A vessel is in the form of an inverted cone. Its height is 8 centimeter and radius of its top, which is open, is 5 centimeter. So what is happening is, this is the inverted cone. Its height is 8 centimeter. This is the height, 8 centimeter, which is open, and the radius of its top, which is open, is 5 centimeter. This is R1 is equal to 5 centimeter. H1 is equal to 8 centimeter. Fine. Now what are they telling? It is filled with water up to the brim. So whatever is the amount of water, this basically is going to be the volume of the cone. When lead shots, each of which is a sphere of a radius 0.5 centimeter, are dropped. It means, actually speaking, there are some spherical lead shots. Lead shots in the sense nothing but spherical spheres. Here they want to tell that this sphere R2 is equal to 0.5 centimeter. When this is dropped, 1/4 of the water flows out. 1/4. Now here 1/4 of what? Volume of cone will drop out. This much amount of water will drop out. How much? 1/4 of volume of cone will drop out. Find the number of lead shots dropped in a vessel. How many lead shots are dropped? See here. Now here you have to be very careful. Not very difficult at all. I'll purposely do it over here and then I'll use this as a rough itself. See here what happens, my dear students. Actually, what is the volume that is going to drop out? It is going to be 1/4 of this volume. It's okay. But what is the relation between these spheres and this volume? See, it is always volume of object immersed in liquid will be equal to volume of liquid displaced. Always remember, whatever the amount of water is falling down or rising up, it is getting displaced. Sometimes what happens, it is a cylindrical vessel, water was over here, and when you put spheres inside or cube inside, water rises high. This will be the water rising high. This is rising high, it is not pouring down, it is not overflowing down, but it is rising high. So this is the water displaced. Just because this was filled up to the brim, that's why it poured out. So object immersed in liquid will be equal to volume of liquid displaced. This means what? This is the volume of water displaced pouring out, which will be equal to 1/4 of the volume of this, but this will be actually also equal to the volume, total volume of spheres in cone. Whatever will be the volume of this total, how many ever spheres are there, we don't know how many spheres are there, that volume will be exactly equal to this volume. Are you getting? And what will be the volume of these spheres? For that, we don't know how many spheres are there, but we know one sphere, the volume of one sphere we will be able to calculate the volume of one sphere, and we don't know how many are there, but let there be n number of spheres. N multiplied by volume of one sphere will give you volume of total spheres. Now we'll come back to this. First we'll try to understand what all things we require to find. We require to find volume of the conical vessel, because that will be the volume of water present in the vessel. Then 1/4 of the volume of the conical vessel will give you the amount of water that is flowing overflowed. Okay, and we will also have to find the volume of a sphere. We'll go step by step. So here when it comes to conical vessel dimensions, we know R1 is equal to 5 centimeter, H1 is equal to 8 centimeter. That is all. Now we will write the formula. Volume of cone is equal to 1 upon 3 pi r square h. This is formula. Therefore, volume of conical vessel is equal to 1 upon 3 pi r1 square h1. Okay, this we will keep it as it is, no problem, no reason to calculate. And then volume of water overflown is equal to 1/4 of volume of conical vessel. That will be equal to 1/4 of 1 upon 3 pi r1 square h1. That will be 1 upon 12 pi r1 square h1 centimeter cube. This is volume of water overflown. Fine, this is the volume of water overflown. Now we know volume of water displaced is equal to the volume of object immersed. Since volume of object immersed is equal to volume of water displaced, this is the rule. Therefore, volume of total spheres is equal to 1 upon 12 pi r1 square h1 centimeter cube. Now we will go to find the sphere. Dimensions of sphere. Only one dimension is there, R2. And what is R2 they have told? Is equal to 0.5 centimeter. Volume of sphere, formula of volume of sphere is equal to 4 upon 3 pi r cube is the volume of a sphere. Fine. Then R2. No, for formula we will just write the formula. This is volume of sphere. Therefore, volume of each spherical lead shot is equal to 4 upon 3 pi r2 cube. Now we will tell, therefore, from this is what? 3 total spheres. Let there be n number of spheres, spherical lead shots. Therefore, volume of total spheres is equal to whatever, this is volume of each, n into 4 upon 3 pi r2 cube, and this will be 4. From 3 and 4 what we will get is this will be equal to this. What is that? 1 upon 12 pi r1 square h1. 1 upon 12 pi r1 square h1 will be equal to n into 4 upon 3 pi r2 cube. 4 upon 3 pi r2 cube. I want to find the value of n will be equal to 1 upon 12 pi r1 square h1 into 4 upon 3 will come over and become 3 upon 4 into pi will become 1 upon pi into 1 upon r2 cube. This should give me total number of lead shots present over there. This will 3 4 जा 12 pi से pi मर गया. What I get is r1 square h1 up, nothing else is there, 4 into 4 into r2 cube will be equal to n. r1 square r1 is 5 centimeter, 5 into 5, h1 is equal to 8. Okay, this will be 16, 4 into 4, and r2 cube 0.5 into 0.5 into 0.5 will be equal to number of lead shots. So here if you will see, if you want to make it easy, I'll remove these decimal places, 50 into 50 into 80. Otherwise if it is confusing to me, 5 into 5 into 8. There are how many? 1 decimal place, 2nd decimal place, 3 decimal place. So over here I will write 3 zeros upon 16 into, now 5 into 5 into 5. Simple as that. How many decimal places you are removing from denominator, that many zero you put in the numerator. Similarly will vice versa. 5 से 5 मर गया, 5 से 5 मर गया, 8 2 जा 16, 5 2 जा 10, 0 0, 2 100 जा 200. Therefore n is equal to 100. Therefore number of spherical lead shots is equal to 100. Okay, this is how it is going on, my dear students. So we have finished with 3 4 5. Still 6 7 8 are remaining, and I think I am running short of time. Okay, we'll stop over here. This is really going to be a very lengthy chapter, solving each and every question. Okay, my dear students, take care, stay home, stay happy, most importantly stay safe, and of course love you all, my dear students. See you all soon. Bye.